Welcome, everyone, to Eyes Wide Watch Club. We are back, gentlemen. It is November. So this month, it was my pick to choose a movie to talk about. So I picked this movie for a couple of different reasons I explained at the end of the last episode. But in short, George Clooney has a new movie coming out, Jay Kelly, a Noah Baumbach film that's going to be getting a lot of awards attention on Netflix. And I really just always have, in the past year, I've been fascinated about George Clooney's career, just as, you know, someone who feels like he's a lot more famous than what his body of work warrants, even though I love George Clooney. And I was looking for something, outside of the Coen Brothers collaborations he did and the Oceans franchise and Batman. What is other big George Clooney roles that make him so critically acclaimed? And I always hear people talk about this one movie from 2007, Michael Clayton. And when I dug a little bit deeper into that movie, I also realized that it is directed by Tony Gilroy, directed and written by Tony Gilroy, who is the showrunner behind Andor and the writer of Rogue One.
I think he wrote it. I think he wrote a good amount of Andor too. Sorry.
Yeah. So I thought it would be culturally relevant. And like I said, it was just this a cinephile favorite that a lot of people will talk about. And I've never seen it before. So I just thought it would be appropriate for just what's going on in the culture right now and in the discussion. So I figured we would check it out. And I guess I don't know. Should I give my first impressions, or do you guys want to go take a jab at it first? Gene, how about you give a jab at it first? Because you're the big Andor stan here.
I mean, so was Remington. Actually, it's not like he's not a stan.
That's true. I have.
It's very good.
I have skimmed through the first season of Andor.
What did you say? You watch it and you have a hard time watching this show and thinking like, somewhere Jar Jar Binks is out in this world as well.
I would watch a show about Jar Jar though. That's the thing.
I'm not making this. I'm not making this conversation about Andor. We can do that at the end, because that's what it's going to turn into.
No, I want the Jar Jar show.
I'm on your side.
You want Binks. 26. Okay. I really enjoyed this one, Dan. This was a really solid pick. I didn't know what to expect going into it, right? Because I'm not as well versed in Clooney as I should be. Like, I know like the Oceans movies and the Batman, but I'm really not like, I feel like it's a pretty extensive filmography, and I'm just woefully just haven't watched enough, right?
Right.
So, and then same with Tony Gilroy. Actually, I really didn't know much about him when it was announced that he was doing Andor. I really just no idea. So this was and I know Gilroy from Andor now, but yeah, I went into this blind. I had no idea what the plot was about, and yeah, I found myself really enjoying it. I really enjoyed the performances. I texted you, Dan. I really enjoyed Remington, who's the lawyer who basically starts to strip and to mess up the whole
Tom Wilkinson.
Yeah, incredible. Insanely incredible performance. I found myself just really enjoying everyone. Tilda Swinton, hold on. Yes?
Why the last time people...
Can you hear her?
Yes, she's adorable.
I don't know what she's saying, but I can.
I don't know either. What's going on?
Maya, what do you think of Tony Gilroy?
Nice.
Maya, what are your thoughts on 2007?
Guys, hold on. Have what? Nights?
Just in her little voice. George
because
Clooney.
The Earth is rotating and the sun's on the other side because it has to be dark. We have to go to sleep. You have to get some rest. You have to sleep to get some rest so you can recharge your battery for the next day. Okay. All right, you gotta get some rest. Go to bed. I'll see you in the morning. All right, go. Every single night when it's Miriam's turn to get her to bed, she has to ask me something every time. And so she came to ask me why do we have to have night, and then why do we have to go to bed? You know, when you're a
Agreed.
child and you don't want to go to sleep, so you're like, why do I have to go?
I agree. That's a good line of questioning. You should pursue that. I'm with her on that. Why do go to bed? Why?
Okay. Anyway, no, yeah, I really enjoyed this one. The performances were stellar. My hot take is I understand why Tilda Swinton won Best Actor for this, supporting actor. I meant to look up what the competition was because I enjoyed the performance. Just didn't think it was like Oscar worthy, but whatever. But yeah, no, I really love this one. I want to get more into it because, especially like like what is it when the car explodes, right? And then they do like a 1 week before to kind of lead up to the events. I wasn't expecting that, and I'm a sucker for that, like using using that as like a storytelling, whatever, like doing like here's how we got here. Yeah, so good job, Dan. I really like this one.
Okay, interesting. All right, I'll go next because I have a different opinion, slightly.
Did you not like the movie you picked?
Well, I've never seen it before. I found it kind of frustrating, this movie. Yeah, there's a lot of things to like about it for sure. I think like you said, I think the performances are really great. I think the dialogue is really great. Really love that intro, the sequence of that monologue of the lawyer just going off on that phone call. So I thought I was in for I thought I was in for something really good. Just in short, because we're gonna get into it. I feel like this movie never. What?
Just keep going. I don't know. I'm just having a good time with this.
I don't hate the movie. I don't think it's necessarily bad or anything. I just was very frustrated because I feel like this movie was about a couple of different things, and in the end it never really focused on one thing, and I felt all of the different things it was trying to be about never felt cohesive or satisfying. And yeah, I think there's a lot of good stuff in there, and I think there's a good movie. I think the ending actually is great. I think the way the ending of the movie, the last scene, really got me.
When he's confronting Tilda Swinton's character?
Yes. I thought that was done amazing. I thought the directing was great. There's so much in concept that I love about this type of it was a good. There's a lot of things to like about the movie. I just think as far as the script goes, there's a lot of things this movie's trying to be about that I don't think it's very successful in all of its endeavors and what the script tries to achieve. So that's kind of my overall take. But yeah, we can get into it. So I'm curious to see what Remington thinks.
I love this because I feel like so far we've done a pretty good job of like when we pick a movie, right? Like whoever picked the movie just at least ends up liking it. Because, I think we mostly have picked movies we haven't seen before. But even then, I feel like we still were like correct in our like choice, right? In our intent. But all right, anyway.
Yeah, no, I just went off of. I was so curious because I've never seen it before, and it's a beloved movie and for most people. I don't think it's a bad movie. I think there's a lot of good stuff in it. I just thought the script was very frustrating. So, what about you, Remington?
Yeah, no, I am Team Gene on this one. I like
cool.
I don't know if it was like I wouldn't say that I was like, took my breath away, but I did quite like the movie. So yeah, I thought the screenplay was really sharp. I thought that it was incredibly well paced. Because I thought. Yeah, because I honestly thought that I would be frustrated by the fact that most of the movie seemed to be like, a flashback, right? One giant flashback, right? That we're just going 4 days earlier and then just like catching us up about why this opening scene was the way that it was. And I was just like, there's no way that I was like looking at the clock. I was like, there's 17 minutes. How the hell are they going to satisfyingly wrap this bitch up, and then it's like, oh, they did it. So, yes, they did it. I was like, that works for me. So yeah, very well paced, very well edited. And I, similar to Eugene, my favorite performance in the film was Tom Wilkinson. I've seen it. I've seen him in other stuff. So like, I know he's good. But he really gets you right away with that. Even though it's done in voiceover, that like monologue that he has when he's like talking with Michael Clayton, in the jail, when they're meeting, and he's like talking about the like revelation that he's had, the urgency that he feels to do something about it. It's really good. And I did not know going in that this was actually Tilda Swinton. Not only was this what won her Oscar, this is her only Oscar. As someone who is like as accomplished and as storied an actress as Tilda Swinton is, this is her only Oscar to date. She is not only is it her only win, she has not been nominated since this time. It's kind of crazy. And so that intrigued me a little bit to think about that. And we can get into that later on. But yeah, no, I had a good time with this. I thought it was a really sharp, really swift film, with good performances. Lots of food for thought. Yeah, it was a good pick.
Okay, cool. I'm curious, what is your relationship with George Clooney? Because other than Danny Ocean, this is and his two Coen brothers, three Coen brothers collaborations. He is.
Oh yeah, Breath of Reading. I've seen that.
This is considered his like other signature role. So I'm just curious what your relationship is with George Clooney.
I wouldn't say I have a particularly deep relationship with George Clooney. Like, I didn't really grow up with the Ocean's films. Like, my older cousins liked them, so they were around, but I didn't really watch them properly. And I was like, oh, okay, that's George Clooney. That's awesome, cool. Honestly, the first thing that I ever recall, like the thing that taught me, like, oh, this is George Clooney and who he is when he was promoting Good Night and Good Luck back in the day. That was like, I don't think that was the first film he directed. I think that was like the second film he actually ever directed. But I was 8. I was like a fucking nerd, but like I was like the story, because it's based on a real life story, in real life moment in history. It very intrigued me, and it interested me that this actor had directed it. And so like that was like my first ever true encounter that he made something like this, and then from there, I would say, like, honestly, most of the George Clooney movies that I've seen, I would say I've seen like fairly recently. Like I've seen Ocean's 11. I've seen From Dusk Till Dawn. I saw The Descendants. I saw The Descendants a couple years ago, when Alexander Payne was in vogue, because the holdovers. I've seen Ides of March.
Have you watched Three Kings?
No.
Oh, surprise. Like you would have.
I've seen Fantastic Mr. Fox, which he provides the voice of for Mr. Fox, which he's really good in. I did see Jay Kelly. I saw Jay Kelly the other week, I think 2 weekends ago, so we can talk about that if we want to. Since I know like your part of your motivation for picking this was because Jay Kelly is blooming. It's on limited release right now. I think you can still see it at Paris Theater or any of the other like selected theaters that it's at right now. It doesn't come to Netflix until like December 5th. But yeah, no. So not a deep relationship with George Clooney, but I'm not. I have my level of interest in him is kind of comparable to like Brad Pitt, I would say, where it's kind of like, oh, these were the movie stars from when like I was like a kid, right? Yeah. So this is the last gasp of like movie stardom. We still had movie stars, and so it's interesting to think about like where did that generation of actors come from? Where did they go? What is their output? And to think about those things like him and Brad Pitt and Julia Roberts, all these people who were like huge when we were little kids. It's interesting to think about some of those things. It was part of why I was one of the few people who liked Wolves. If you remember that, I think that came out last year.
Remember. I saw that in the theater.
Me too. I liked it. Me and like 3 old people. I woke up early on a Sunday and I like walked over, and me and a couple old people. We like sat up front and we watched it. And we had a good time. It was fun. Yeah, I like that when he did that with Brad Pitt. They reunited for that.
Ye-
So yeah, that covers it for me.
Yeah, no, I mean part of the motivation was because why I was thinking about George Clooney this past year, not just because of Jay Kelly, because it's funny, I am such a Brad Pitt stan. I think Brad
Mhm.
Pitt has been like since the '90s has just been in so many consistently good movies.
Oh, yeah.
I think Brad Pitt's level of celebrity. Because I just think about normies, kind of, not to be, but like I think about like my mom.
Normies.
I think about like my mom when I was like growing up as a kid who like you watch like Access Hollywood and like just like my mom never really watched a lot of movies, but like she knew Brad Pitt was a celebrity because he like had his whole public relationship with Angelina Jolie. She knows George Clooney and like loves him, but it's always more about like the celebrity. And then I'm like looking at their body of work, what have they actually done? And I always felt like because of the Ocean's movies mainly, Brad Pitt and George Clooney were always kind of this duo. They were kind of like their own duo, kind of similar to I would put them kind of akin to like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, you know. And I always felt like I would always, and I love George Clooney. I love George. I think he's great in this movie. I love George Clooney every time I see him. He's great, but I always look at his body of work and I think, and he's no, it's a great body of work, and I always think Brad Pitt is like up here, way at the ceiling when it comes to his body of work, and I always felt like George Clooney was way lower with the amount of, what he's actually the amount of work he's put out in his career, and it just feels like his level of celebrity outweighs the body of work was my thesis. Even though I love him so much. But anyway, so yeah, no, interesting. I guess my main number one gripe with this movie, or where my gripe starts, is so this movie is about a couple of different things, right? This movie focuses on this case with what is the name of the corporation? Someone tell me. It was
You North.
U North.
Yeah,
U
that's what I
North.
want.
This it was like it was like an energy company or something. This whole case that they have, this class action lawsuit, right? And this law firm that Michael Clayton works at. So that's on the one side of the story. And then you have Michael Clayton's life and his career on the other side of the story, right? And that works. That's totally normal, right? For a screenplay. I think the main crux of where my frustrations begin with this screenplay, and there's more that stems from this, but the opening scene when we flash back after Michael Clayton's car explodes, he goes to the house of this guy. It's the opening scene of like demonstrating to the audience what Michael Clayton's does and what his role is in this law firm, right? He's a lawyer, but he's positioned as the fixer, right? When a case is really bad, when like their client is a high profile client is clearly screwed, he's the one that's supposed to come in and clean it up, quote unquote, right?
Yeah.
And in the opening scene, that part of my frustration where it comes from with this movie is the guy in that opening scene says to him like, well, what are you gonna do? You just call someone else or give me a referral for someone else? He drove all the way out there. And for the entire movie, I was also on that guy's side. By the end of the movie, I still thought to myself, I don't understand what George Clooney does. I don't even understand his role in this law firm. He says he's the fixer. I still don't understand what his job is. And that was a huge issue to me for the entire crux of the movie, because even this case of what's going on is not a normal thing for him. So I don't know. That's where I'll start. That was a huge sticking point for me, where even at the I felt like that didn't need to be a part of the story, like where he's all of these scenes were so good of people, when he's confronting Sydney Pollack in his office, saying, like he needs a loan, he's in debt. That's a whole other part of the story. And he's just complaining that he's like this almost posturing at a shady lawyer, kind of, and that's why he's not a partner, because he needs less exposure, I guess. And it rang kind of not hollow, but just explored to me, because I never really understood what George Clooney's role was in this law firm. That is my opening.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you just not familiar with the role of fixer? Like, is that not a thing that you know about?
Educate me, sure.
Okay, so let's see. All right, I want you to.
Remington's like, how can I explain it to this low IQ idiot? Remington, you want to go to law school.
Why don't we put our thinking caps on?
Remy's gonna be a fixer, is what you're saying. We're
gonna transport our minds back. We're gonna transport our minds back to the distant year of 2017, Daniel. Do you?
Yeah.
Are we doing Enron?
Do you recall?
No,
that's like 2000 whatever.
Yeah, sorry, I was way off.
Michael Cohen.
Yes, do you recall a gentleman named Michael Cohen from the Trump saga?
He was all over news in 2017, Dan.
Yeah. Jeremy Strong's character in The Apprentice?
No.
Michael. Michael Cohen. Yes. I know this. Yes.
Dan, you're the resident lib. You have to know who all these people are.
You really do.
We're all resident libs. What?
Ask your parents. Call your parents right now. They'll tell you who
you're a lib. There's a difference.
Call your parents. Call your parents, and they'll be like, "Yeah, Dan, come on."
Oh wait. So I don't. Okay.
Phone a friend to your dad, Dan.
Call your dad.
I feel like this is but whatever. I just feel like, I'm sorry. I feel like. Okay, please explain it to me.
Okay.
Maybe I'll get somewhere. I was
trying to point to an example, so maybe you understood a little bit. So Michael Cohen famously was Trump's fixer, right? So that means that when Stormy Daniels was saying, "Hey, I'm going to go public with this thing that you did to me," he was the one who went and said, "Hey, don't do that. We'll pay you money for you."
Yeah.
Yes. And he was the one that made sure the payments got made, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a lawyer you have that does, not the one that goes to court, right? Not the one who's like very public facing, but they're the ones who kind of like, they know where the skeletons are buried. They're the ones who kind of do those dirty jobs, so to speak. So that's kind of like why Michael Clayton is brought in when this client is involved in a hit and run. Right? Like he's the one who theoretically was supposed to be like, okay, here's our strategy of what we're going to do. Here's what you're going to say and do. Here's what my move is. The point of that scene is when you first see it, you're supposed to be like, yeah, what the hell, man? Why are you telling him this? And then it comes full circle in the end, because you understand that, well, the reason why he's acting like this is because he's had a change of heart, right? That's the whole point of him being like, I'm a janitor, right? Like that's a callback to what we find out. It's a callback to what Tom Wilkinson told him, which is that like we're fucking janitors, right? Privileged and powerful. That's like what the scene is. He's saying that I don't want to be the bag man anymore. I want something else, right? We keep seizing on this idea that I want something. I want to move on.
Dan, have you ever heard of the White House plumbers?
Wait, but we're talking about the White House. I'm just saying
it's the same thing. Like if you're rich and powerful, like you they were Richard Nixon's more or less fixers. Remington can talk more about that. But like basically like you can't, especially if you're rich and successful like Donald Trump, like you don't have time to be and get involved in like there's a problem, you need someone to fix it. So you pay someone, a fixer, to fix it for you, and that could be Michael Cohen in real life going to Stormy Daniels and saying, "Hey, do not go public with this. I will give you money.
I
And
guess
I will be the one who makes sure you get that money because Donald Trump is not going to go ahead and do that because he's far too busy
Yes.
being Donald Trump.
And that was the whole
So,
thing, right? Michael Cohen was paying her up front, and then Trump would reimburse him, and that was like the whole
yeah.
scandal.
Yeah. So like you basically, and like that was the thing with in the beginning, right? This is like a very high profile client for them who cannot be getting involved in this messy business of a hit and run. So they're not going to send like because that's a big thing with Michael Clayton's character, how he's been at the firm for a very long time, but he's not a partner because they're like, well, you're very good at being a fixer, and it would be too public, right, Remy, for like a partner to go out and do these things. But you are still on paper some no-name attorney, so we can send you to do this thing you're very good at.
I understand that, but it felt like the movie was doing a very bad job of demonstrating
Was it?
Yeah, because number one, why does he need to go to the guy's house? Like, I was on that guy's side. Like, he goes to the guy's house, he hears him out, and then George Clooney just picks up the phone and calls another lawyer and goes, "This is your guy." And he's like,
Really?
and the guy goes,
Dan, that's why they show the scene twice. You're supposed to be confused in the beginning, and then it explains it in the end. Right? They explain the reason why he's acting like this is that he doesn't want to be a fixer anymore. So in fact, you are not seeing how a fixer would behave.
I guess. No, I guess you're right. Yeah. And then there was like that, like I was almost questioning, yeah, because there was a line. Okay, maybe I just wish that because the case that was, or the storyline that was currently playing out, or like in this movie with him trying to wrangle in Arthur, right? What I guess was a very abnormal situation. Like, that wouldn't be his normal day-to-day thing. And I just felt like the entire time, which granted, this was a very unconventional type of fix that Michael Clayton would have to deal with, right? Like his mentor and partner going out of whack, right? Like, that's understandable. But even that, like, I felt like he was doing a real shitty job of getting to him. Like, so it just felt like there was a line in the movie when I think he's with his brother-in-law, who's a cop. And there was a line, I think by either the brother-in-law or Clooney, that like someone, I think it was the brother-in-law, said like, you know, cops think you're a lawyer and lawyers think you're a cop, or something. Like, which is it? Like, it just felt like I just felt like I wasn't being shown Clooney in his prime and like demonstrating what he actually does. And it just felt like I just kept being told he's this master talented in the scene with Sidney Pollack when he asks for a loan in his office. That was a very pivotal scene. Great scene. All the scenes are great, but like he says, like, oh, everyone knows in the company like what an asset you are. And I felt like I needed that to be demonstrated a bit more of Clooney's skill, which I feel like I never got in the movie. Like, I never got an example, and I felt like that opening scene was meant to do that. But like you said, like, that was, you know, when he decided to stop doing that. I don't know. I felt like that was very crucial for me. I needed an example of Clooney being good at his job, and with everyone kind of questioning him, I was questioning him as an audience member. Like, yeah, what do you do? And are you good at your job? Because you're failing horribly at this given very abnormal situation with Arthur. You're failing at every point. And so that was my first big thing that I was kind of like, I needed a little bit.
Point though, like you're seeing this week that kind of makes him question what he does, and he knows what he does, and yeah, so does is it Arthur? Is that the guy's name, right?
Yeah, everyone knows what he does.
Like they all know
he's been doing it for 17 years.
But also, even they know there's but even though they know they're shady, that like they're not even shady. They're like, they're defense attorneys, right? Your job is to defend your client, right? Their client is this massive corporation that internally knew that they were causing all these deaths, but you know they've hired you. You know they're your client. You have to defend them, right? And I think that's kind of, and I think part of the reason is too is like Clooney seen that if someone like Arthur, who he talks about too, Arthur's very good at his job, right? And I think him seeing like this is enough to kind of unravel Arthur, and then just everything that leads up to it. I think a juxtaposition is how the company hires these two hitmen to like just straight up murder Arthur and do all these
Yeah.
very illegal things. They tap his phone, his house, like like it's just it's a juxtaposition of like Clooney kind of doing things more passively. Then you have these guys who are just like very clearly breaking the law where they murder a man. And it's just kind of showing you like at least the way I took it as was like these are two extremes of more or less the same job in a way, right? But it's also kind of showing you like we know Clooney's this great fixer, but this is kind of the week that unravels him, right? And it leads to his car exploding. He only survived because he saw some horses, and so I think that's why it worked, right? I think I thought it was fine. It's like, okay, sure, he's this great fixer. We know this, but at the same time, you also see like his I also took it as like they did a good job of showing all the personal stuff in his life that are affecting him that week, right? What is it? We find out that him and his brother opened the bar, but it's going under, and his brother kind of just is not a very shady character, right? He cannot be trusted. He kind of just leaves and kind of leaves Clooney to pick up the pieces of it. Clooney loves to gamble, and many times he tells people like, I haven't played cards in a while, but we know he still does because we see him playing cards in the beginning of the movie, even though it's later in the week. Sure. I took it as like, oh, he still just does this frequently. He has an ex-wife. He seems to have like a not super strained relationship, but like his relationship with his son doesn't seem to be like the best, but he's still there. He's trying his best. He seems the kind of guy. And what is it? It's his brother Dan. It's not his brother-in-law, by the way. But they're at the birthday party, and like it just kind of infers that like he frequently has to step out because he kind of seems like he's the kind of guy who puts his job before his kid and now I'm assuming his ex-wife. Like it's inferred that he probably did that a lot with the
cop.
divorce.
Wait, I'm sorry. The cop was his brother.
Yeah, the cop's his brother.
His two brothers.
Oh, so he has two brothers,
and he has the attic brother.
The attic brother. Okay. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, he has two brothers. What are we doing?
Yeah. No, I feel like I
Maya, what are your thoughts on the screenplay of Michael Clayton?
I do yeah, I do enjoy like I said, I enjoyed all of the scenes. I thought the dialogue was great. I really liked the direction. Reminded me kind of I like that the direction wasn't showy. It was very straightforward, very much just focused on just guys talking in rooms, like rolled up sleeves, collar shirts. I loved all that stuff. It almost, I don't know, something about it felt a little Finchery to me, just in the way that it wasn't very showy, and just kind of the look of the film. Felt kind of dour, but yeah, it with the I like the way that normally it's funny. I don't know how you feel about this, Remington, but I usually despise the opening scene of something crazy happens and then it's like, well, how did we get here? And then cut back. Like they have to TV does this a lot now, right? Where like when you open a series, you have to start with the crazy event to get audiences sucked in, and then like, well, how did we get here? A la like Frankenstein recently, which was another thing. I usually don't like that.
That's what the book does in Frankenstein. That's
sure. But yeah, it feels like trust that it feels like a little like trust the audience. I was fine with that in this case.
Wait, what part?
Just the idea of like how when usually I'm against when a movie or show will have to open up and have to show like a very like an action set piece scene, like something crazy to hook the audience in, and then like cut back to like, well, how did we get here? And then like, you know what I mean? Like TV shows do this a lot now. It just feels like it doesn't trust the audience enough. Like you have to like hook them in with a really captivating scene first and then cut back. But anyway, I thought I didn't have a super big problem with it here. But where was I going with that? But yeah, so anyway, I like the way that information is revealed in the movie, where you learn more about different things, like not by really exposition. But I felt like there was just different things of, like, okay, here's the case that's building up. There was too many things for me that were getting introduced and being part of the story. And then I felt like, ooh, that's like a really good, like, there's stuff in there. And then I'm like, but wait, but the movie's also about the case. And like, so I felt like there wasn't quite enough in any of the plot lines that were introduced to like be full, like 100% satisfying for me. Like, I think the ending nails it. But yeah, I don't know. I kept thinking, I'm having a hard time. I'm not articulating this well, but I kept thinking about the movie. There's a movie that this really reminded me of, from I think around like 2010, called Dark Waters with Mark Ruffalo, which is a similar premise. It was like another Oscar contender about like Mark Ruffalo was a lawyer, and it was about a real life story about how like an energy company, very similar, like poisoned like a water supply, and it was kind of about a little bit more conventional of a screenplay of like about this case and Mark Ruffalo's life as a lawyer and being obsessed with this case, but it was kind of more focused on the case, and I just felt like this movie didn't really fully satisfy enough of these plot points that they were introducing. Even though I think a lot of the individual scenes were so good on their own. Like, for example, with Arthur, there was a lot of things going on with him, and not just that he was having a change of heart and this massive breakdown about the case, but he was also building a case against them, and then he was like, not only he was contacting that one witness that was in the deposition and flying around, and I guess he was like confessing his love to her or something like that. And then Tilda Swinton, which I thought, oh my god, I thought Tilda Swinton, I'm a Tilda Swinton stan. I thought she was amazing. I thought she was amazing in this movie. Yeah, it just, I don't know. I felt the screenplay was a little trying to do a little too much for me. But yeah, that's kind of how I felt. And then but also just introducing just George Clooney's life, and like not just that like we were spending runtime on, okay, but not just that he is a lawyer and doesn't have his personal life together, but also he was in this bar and he's in a very deep with this restaurant that failed. I don't know. I just felt like there's like pick something to focus on. I don't know. Or like one or two things. I felt like it
does have a thing that it focuses on for the most part. There are a few exceptions, but for the most part, it's grounded in Michael Clayton's perspective, right? It's like literally 4 days in his life. And, I don't know if you know this, Dan, but most humans, during their day do not focus on one single thing. There are, in fact, many things going on and many things that they do during the day. So when you go to work, I'm sure you too also think about your personal life, and vice versa. When you are doing things in your personal life, you probably think about things that need to happen with work, especially if you have the kind of job that doesn't really like leave you at the end at 5 p.m. when you go home at the end of the day. Like, it follows you wherever you go. So
it also ties in. Well, it ties into how he gets the he gets the $80,000 not from like just because like they're like, hey, we're your friends. Like, it ties into how he gets the money to. I'm assuming back to the bank. Is that what it was?
Explaining it's making a point with the money, which is kind of like, one, it establishes like a bit of a motivation for him, and then two, it kind of it's meant to later on illustrate how these people get you, right, and how they wind up like getting away with things. So that's kind of what it is. I also don't agree with your characterization of the writing around Arthur. You described 3 different things, but they are in fact all 3 part of the same thing, which is that he's no longer wanting to litigate the case and is in fact secretly plot against the people that he's representing by making a new case. And part of how he's doing that is that he's created in addition to acquiring documents, incriminating documents. He is he's cavorting with the witnesses. Why, he doesn't know. He says this as much. He just has like a weird feeling about her vibes, basically vibes. He liked the way she looked. He liked the way she acted in deposition. So he's like, hey, why don't you come work with me and I will make sure that your interests are represented or that your testimony is heard or what have you. So I think that works all just fine. It's all part of his plan, I guess you could say, his plot that he has in terms of fulfilling this new calling that he has from the vision that he has been telling us about all movie and that he winds up getting murdered for. That I think that works fine personally. If you want to say like, do we need to keep adding on information on everyone's like character sheets? Like, maybe not, but I don't think it was such that it really took away anything from the movie. I think like, especially when it's grounded in just like Michael Clayton's life, I think that works just fine. Like and like if the movie was really belaboring that Arthur had an estranged daughter, then yeah, that would be an issue. Arthur's not the main character. We don't need to know about his estranged daughter. She's not going to be in the movie. But no, it doesn't. It's just like a passing mention. Like I think that what we have is fine and good.
Wait, what?
I said it's fine and good.
I think too, like you said about like Arthur's daughter. Like, I mean, there's multiple times where like they allude to what is it? He seems to have had a breakdown before. They allude to his
yes,
he has to take his meds, right? And it's very clear that they're like the only reason they put up with him is because he's a very, very, very good attorney, right? But it's still kind of showing you that they kind of use, like, you see his daughter's estranged because he's crazy. Like, it's kind of them trying to paint his character a certain way. And so I don't think like Remy said, it's a tight script. I don't think there's wasted lines. I think it all has a purpose. Going back to real quick, Michael Clayton's personal life too, and Remy said it creates motivation. It kind of is. Like, for a bit, it does seem like his motivation of like, I need to fix this because it will let me get the loan that I need to. Remind me. So, who did he owe the money to? Was this to the bank? He owed the 80K to the bank.
He owed it. I don't know if they say who the guy is, but yeah, I think it's a loan shark. They don't like spell it out, but he's just like a guy that he's meeting to that he owes money to related to the bar going.
Yeah, that's when you've last seen him. He's like. He's like, oh, like he's like, it's okay. Like,
typically, that guy that he's talking to is not the actual person whose money it is. He's like representing the person.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm
probably another fixer himself. Yeah, and yeah, that's why he even says like he apologized. He's like, yeah, you're just doing your job. Like, it's fine. Like, he understands. Like we both deal in shady stuff. You're doing your job. I'm doing mine. It's no hard feelings. It's just business.
Yeah. That's why he needs the money. Funnily enough, I don't know if you caught this, but he asks for 80 grand and does receive 80 grand, but he actually only owed the guy 75. So he took the remaining. But that's why he relapsed on gambling, because he just took the extra 5 for himself and put it on the table, and he didn't even lose anything because, like they said, you only sat for 9 hands, nothing really happened, and then we walked. So yeah, he has 5 grand in the bank. Who knew? Like,
but yeah, so like I think it all just like so like yeah, like then I do think they do put enough of his personal life as motivation where he's able to use like, it's like, okay, I can, if I fix this, the what is it? And I mean, they showed the guy has like a massive freaking house. Like, he's one of the partners at the law firm. So it's kind of like these guys are good for it, but it all adds on to his character, right? And I think they mention it a lot. Like, a big thing about his character is, and people question it, like, you've been there for like 20 years. How are you not a partner?
Right.
And there are some, I think they show some frustrations of Clooney with Michael Clayton's character. Like, Michael Clayton, like, he's a little frustrated about it, but he also knows, like, well, I'm good at what I do, right? And it allows me to have these connections. And he's like, I have dirt on everybody on this firm. They even talk about it. The reason they not let him go is because he knows too much about everybody. Like, that's like a huge point of the movie as well. Like, it's like a, we keep you on because too, and like they mentioned that too. Like they say outright, like you, if you ever fucking talk, you know so much about us that it's not really good for anybody.
Right. Yeah, I guess. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I know. So I think it's fine that we don't just see him once being like excellent. I think it's very well built up, and it's like this is just like a time in his life where it's like, okay, now it's all, all your chickens are coming home to roost or whatever.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think that the story works fine without you seeing it because the movie is not about him being excellent, right? The movie is about him
being conflicted,
having this great. Yes, it's about his inner conflict. It's about his moral dilemma that he's experiencing throughout this like 4-day period that the film hovers. We don't need to see it, but we know that he is just because like it's unquestioned throughout the movie, right? It's just kind of like it's kind of like you don't need to see in a movie, like if the movie's about an aging movie star or if the movie's about an aging athlete, right? You don't need to see all of their great games, right? Or all of their best movies, right? You just kind of know that and the story works on its own. It's kind of a similar structure, I would argue.
You don't got to see DiCaprio in his heyday in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like, that he was a great actor at one point, and especially in that era. Now he's a TV actor, which back then was like a death blow to your career.
Yeah.
You don't need to see in Cars. You don't need to see Chicks Hicks's races from before. You just kind of know because there's that brief pan over those photos in his garage and you're in those trophies and you're like, oh shit, that's cool.
Oh, you won 3 Piston Cups?
but that's a very I guess maybe okay. I will concede that maybe that's just on me not being fully I guess like like if I saw him
then? Like
if I saw him in the beginning, I just am a stickler for like because I love movies where I'm seeing like guys being very good at their jobs, like people being very competent, good at their job, and I get that, and I guess yeah, like I wasn't when you say a fixer, I get it, like, but if I saw him like paying off someone in a shady deal, like an example of like a basketball player, yes, like you just show all of their sports trophies, you get like, but I don't know why I felt like I needed because in this movie. He's trying to fix this weird case of Arthur, but he's like being so bad at it. Like, and I just think to myself, like, I needed that like establishing scene of seeing him being very good at his job. And I'm also a very big stickler for, like, I'm not even that far off from you guys, to be clear. I'm not saying this movie. I think all of the scenes individually were so good. I thought the performance. There's so much I love about this movie, or just really admire. But like, just to bring it all together, there were certain things. For example, like just I don't know. I just feel like there was very good ideas, and then I'm just like, wait a minute, like Arthur is building an entire case. Not just he's having a mental breakdown, right? And he's like spiraling, like. That on its own is a movie. Like, that could be the movie. Like, wait a minute. Excuse me. He's building an entire, like, this is so implausible. This is a huge thing. Like, that could be a whole movie in itself. Like, it just.
And have you ever heard the expression "crazy as a fox"?
Well, here's the question.
Like
I'm not. Right? I'm just saying there was so many good ideas.
Obviously, Arthur is not doing well, but there's this whole scene in the movie where he explains. Oh, yes, it was part of my plan for you to move me back to New York, where it'd be a lot harder for you to involuntarily commit.
I love that.
Because I have this whole plan I'm working out. It's explained that like the reason yes, he's obviously not doing that well, but part of the reason he's playing it up on purpose, right? Yeah. Like he tells Michael, it's like, it's not about the meds. And then like, it's explained, yeah, I was acting insane in the deposition. I was stripping off my clothes because I wanted to delay the proceedings, which he did in fact succeed.
He in the case. Yeah.
And he wanted to be moved back to New York so that way they couldn't voluntarily commit him. And then he got the secret apartment and then he was bringing her into the city. Like he had a plan. He knows what he's doing. He's not doing well. I'm not going to say he's like doing the best, but like it's not he's not
Still,
incapacitated. He's not incapacitated. Let's put it that way.
No, I'm
That's the
agree.
thing, Dan. Too. I think a big part of the movie is like Arthur's that like it's like Michael Clayton's good, but then it's like, oh no, Arthur's that much better than him. Like there's a scene where Michael Clayton says like they ask like we need the best attorney for this thing, and he's like, yeah, it's Arthur. Like he's like, and then
Right,
later,
yeah.
and then
Oh,
when,
yeah.
when they're talking in the alley, Arthur even says like he's like, all right, if you want to try to get involved, that's fine, but how much like you need to?
Well, that's because they're different lawyers, right? So like Arthur is someone who spent his career as a litigator, right? We said they're they're not defense, they're litigators.
Oh, they're litigating.
So
I thought you were supposed to be being sued about a class action lawsuit. So weren't they defending the court?
Yeah, that's a civil action. So no, not defense attorney. They are litigators. They represent. So Arthur, he spent his career as a litigator. He's the senior litigator, meaning he's the best in the firm at this type of law practice, and so he leads their team whenever they have a case, basically. And so he's regarded for his skill. Whereas like Michael, Michael apparently has a little bit of experience from like early in his career in litigation, also in prosecution, because they discussed that he used to work in the district attorney's office. He hasn't done that in like 20 years. Right. Yeah. So because he was brought on in this like special counsel capacity, which eventually turned into him just being the firm's fixer. So he doesn't like, he even says in the beginning, like you want someone who goes to court. I don't go to court. Like I haven't like he hasn't gone to trial in like a very long time. He's not. He has some litigation experience, but nothing current, nothing contemporary.
Yeah.
So they're different kinds of lawyers. Their specialties are different.
Yeah, he's still an attorney, but like he doesn't actually practice really in practice.
And Sidney Pollack has like a great line in that scene. Something I think it's towards the end where he says something about like, you might want to keep your days in court in memory because maybe you weren't as good as you like, or something like that. Kind of alludes that maybe he wasn't as good in court as he thought he was, which I loved. I thought that was again the dialogue and the oh my god, these scenes were so good. Like you were saying, Remington, with oh my god, I loved the whole when they have the scene where they're talking about what to do about Arthur, and Michael Clayton, he comes in and says like, yeah, what do you think? Like, he came to New York. Do you think Arthur, like, who's the best one that's going to know about laws about institutionalizing someone against their will? Arthur. And then when they go to that scene with Arthur and the bread in the alleyway, he goes, yeah, you want to, the last place, Michael, you want to see me as in court. You don't want to fight that battle. That was so good. I loved it. And the reason, but that's why I kind of felt a little frustrated, because I was like, wait a minute, oh my God, wait a minute. Like, they were throwing out too many great ideas. And I was like, focus more on this than just like, there was too many good ideas in this movie. And I just, that was my little bit of frustration with it, was I want that more to be like crank the dial of the pie chart of how much is it of Michael Clayton's personal life, how much it is the case, how much of it is his relationship with Arthur. Like, it's all good, like, but just I needed like, you gotta like tilt that balance of like, I don't know, does that make sense? Am I at least kind of like what I felt like there was more? I felt a little unsatisfied. Like, I felt like the movie needed just a little bit more of a tilt on go more into his relationship with Arthur and the more details of this case and everything going on with that, and lose like a little bit more of the Michael Clayton personal stuff with his gambling and that stuff. That's kind of where I was coming from. Like, it was too many good ideas. And I wanted to. I get hung up when I feel like a movie is doing a little bit too much. That's kind of my other thing. But I'm like, I'm not disagreeing with you guys that like so much of this was really good. But I
understand you. No, I understand you. I'm just saying I don't agree.
Sure.
Okay.
I just wanted you guys to see what
I would say if you stand off the things that you're talking about, then you just get Dark Waters, and it's not an interesting movie anymore. It's like every other this type of movie. No, but I know the type of movie that you're talking about. I know what it's about. I'm
no, I
familiar
get
with
what you
it,
mean.
and like,
I agree.
yeah,
I
like your
agree with you to an
standard
extent.
legal thriller. You know, which
Yeah,
which is
sure.
like, wow, I liked money and winning lawsuits, but that makes me feel bad now, and now I don't like money and winning lawsuits. And I'm going to have a big speech at the end that will make everyone clap, even your mom, and it will be really good. Like that. That's I don't see that kind of movie. And I like this movie. Not only for its sense of character, but also its structure. I think that Arthur, he's not the central character. The movie's called Michael Clayton, right? It's about Michael Clayton. It's for the most part grounded in his perspective.
Yeah.
What Arthur is like the voice of conscience, right? He's the voice of reason. He's also the person who's kind of like helping to, well, from our perspective, it's the car bomb that's propelling the action. But like actually, from when you go back and you like properly restructure the movie, it's actually like him telling Michael about his like great vision that he had. That he is, where he describes himself as like, I came from the asshole of this like organism that I serve, whose job it is to like spread misery and destruction. You know the scene I'm talking about. And
Yeah.
so like that, and like now it's like I was a janitor. We're janitors, and now it's like my job to do something right. To like actually clean up these messes. And so and it's that which is like propelling the action. It's still about Michael. Michael is a full person. That's interesting. It's interesting that he is. Well, it's interesting that he has these family problems. It's interesting that he has all of these like stresses and strains that make him do the things that he wants to do. And it's interesting that like he gets caught in this really, as he's having this like moral dilemma, he gets caught in this like really profound, this like really sticky case, with all these like odds and ends and moving pieces that gets really dangerous towards the end. His friend's murdered. He is almost murdered. It's why it's good. That's why it's interesting. That's why it got into Best Picture and got all of these like nominations. Which is a remarkable thing is it's like a first time feature for this director. And so that's where I come down on this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Remington said too, like like a lesser movie would have had the whole thing. Like, you give a big speech at the end and everyone claps, and like a lesser movie would have had where like, I don't know, somehow Michael Clayton finds out who almost killed him and they're arrested. Like, this isn't that kind of movie.
Yeah.
And
I would have gotten away with it too if it hadn't been for you meddling lawyers.
And I think the movie's better for it. So I don't know. Like I get where you're coming from, Dan. I disagree though. I like Remington. The movie worked for me on like a lot of levels.
Yeah, it was just a lot of. It was just a lot of like.
Yeah, it's like there's no conflict in this movie as Peter watching.
No, there was conflict, but there was just.
Or is it violence? Is he violence or conflict? What he says anyway.
There was just very bare, like bones thing that's just was irking with me with the screenplay that just is like my core like triggering things. But no, yeah,
I mean, doesn't look good for us trying to get you to watch Andor. Oh no.
No, it was but there was a lot to really love about it. Like I said,
you like the Bourne movies?
Yeah, he wrote the Bourne movies.
He wrote all the Bourne movies and directed the last one.
Yeah, that's what he did. I don't think I've seen any of them.
Me neither. I was just curious.
I just know the meme. By the way, the meme is so much funnier than when you watch the clip. I could deliver that fucking line better than that guy. Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne. That was when you actually watch the clip, it's so much less compelling than when like you think of it in your head. But like he needed to ham that up. In my memory, my memory had that line hammed up so much more than it actually was in the movie. Anyway, no, yeah.
So Dan, so it sounds like you like, because you keep saying the scenes were good. It just sounds like it doesn't work together as a complete package for you. Like there's things you like, right? But like when you put it all together, it just doesn't work for you.
Yeah, no,
that's fine.
Yeah,
I have
there's
views
just
Yeah.
like that.
yeah,
I
there's
just
Yeah,
don't
just
for
agree
sure.
that that applies to this.
yeah, of course. Yeah, there's just it just in my experience, my core tenets was just I felt like I needed to see that example opening scene of I needed an example of Michael Clayton being really good, where like
Sure.
he like pays someone off in a shady way, or like or you know, and it just because the entire rest of the movie is going to be us seeing him failing miserably at what he's usually meant to do. And then
Did you like the pacing?
yeah, I mean, no, it was just it was a collection of scenes that were all very compelling. Like I never felt bored. And then all of the different ideas being introduced, I just thought like, wait a minute, this is a huge thing that could just and it also like the Tilda Swinton of it all and her character of hiring hitmen. You know, like, wait a minute, excuse me. This is a huge thing that she's like. I also get very hung up when I start to feel like, and when when a movie is trying to do too much, and in this case, I felt like I kind of was starting to go off in my brain, like it felt like it was doing too much, but not in a way that in a way that I felt like, wait a minute, these are very big ideas, but good idea. Like this could be like I felt like you know what I mean. I felt like this could be a good like focus in my mind of Michael Clayton, the movie, the screenplay. There's a pie chart of each scene and what we're focusing on, whether it be his personal life, the case, what's going on with Arthur. And I just felt like that pie chart of the percentages of what the movie was focusing on had to be very much adjusted. That's my overall issue, because but everything that was happening I thought was very good. I really appreciate like you know, great dialogue, people just talking in rooms. Jake Kelly is like never pulling out a gun or anything. I really love the scene of the of when the hitmen when they take out Arthur. Like very like just efficient, quiet, very quick. They just like, you know, just like wrap him up really quick, just stage it all. I was telling Raymond, it kind of reminded me a little bit of Fincher, where it doesn't, none of the filmmaking seems very showy. Like it's not very showy in any way, but it just feels very efficient and a little stark. But yeah, so there's a lot I really, really, really appreciate about this movie, and really get it. But just there were some core tenets for me as a film fan where I was just like that was pushing up for me a little bit. So, what about Tilda Swinton? I'm a stan for Tilda Swinton. I thought she was fantastic in this.
I thought she was good too.
I thought she was very good. I'm not disagreeing with that. I just didn't. Yeah. I mean, who was she up against? I'm just like, it just didn't give me like, okay, she won an Oscar for this. All right, that's cool.
Well,
but I'm just like
also,
sitting there like,
I think she's so good. I think she's one of the greatest actors working today, because she always transforms herself completely in every, like, what is a Tilda Swinton performance like? You can't tell me, because she's different. Like she is just she commits so much to her roles, and she is just a completely different person in every movie you see her in.
yeah.
Like she doesn't have a persona. As an actor, you shouldn't. I mean, I guess you can,
Yeah.
but like as a great actor, she just completely reinvents herself in every role.
Okay, she went up against Kate Blanchett in I'm Not There, Ruby Dee in American Gangster, great movie. Saoirse Ronan, look at that, in 2007. Yeah, 2007.
She was very young. She was
Yeah.
like 14 when she got out.
Yeah,
Wait,
Atonement and what?
What was that movie she was in?
Atonement?
Atonement.
Is
Yeah,
that where she
2007.
came out from? I never even heard of that movie. Okay.
I think she was like a child actor and like other things before that. But yeah, that's like her first.
Yeah.
Wait, this is
Yeah,
is this? Am I
Because
crazy?
that's Three Lovely Bones.
Is this the Lady Bird actress, or am I thinking of someone completely different?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's her. Yeah, it's her. Yeah. But
Well, I thought she was.
Yeah.
Did you not know that she was like a child actress before that?
No, I thought Lady Bird was her thing that broke her out. Oh, she was
yeah, no,
before
I did
that?
too. That's why I'm
Oh.
surprised. I thought Lady Bird was like her first like big role. I didn't know
Oh,
that.
I didn't
Wow.
know
No,
that.
dudes, I've been knowing about Saoirse Ronan since I was like 12 because she was like in The Lovely Bones, and I thought The Lovely Bones was like so disturbing as a child, but interesting. And so I was, even though apparently people hate that movie, I haven't seen it as an adult, but like, I've been knowing about like Saoirse Ronan like my entire life, basically.
Interesting. All right.
Oh, I never knew that. Remington in
and
New
then,
York City and his Yankee and his North Face.
Amy
I've been on
Ryan.
that train.
So Amy Ryan and
Like
Don
Irish. It has
David.
nothing to do with being a New Yorker. She's but yeah, apparently it was like a very I'm just like looking through it. It was like a very competitive year. And her win was divisive, like controversial at the time because like a lot of people really wanted Kate Blanchett to win for her performance in I'm Not There, which is a really good movie. You should check it out. She's actually really good in that movie too. And it's a Todd Haynes movie. I really liked that movie when I saw it. And then like a lot of critics were supporting Ruby Dee or not Ruby. What's that? The one in Gone Baby Gone. You're looking at it right now.
Yeah. Oh, this is the one where they each play different personas.
Ryan, yeah,
I've heard
that's what I'm Not There is. She plays a version of Bob Dylan. So like that was like a really really close race, a really competitive race. And she won the BAFTA, and that was an era where the BAFTA was the more decisive precursor still. And so she wound up winning, even though it was probably very close. And it's kind of crazy. I agree with Dan. Like, I think she's an incredible actress, and I've seen her in all kinds of great movies and great roles. I think it's crazy that she's not been nominated since and doesn't have any other Oscars under her belt.
Yeah. Look at that. What won Best Picture that year? Because this was nominated for Best Picture as well, right?
That's No Country.
No Country.
No Country.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, okay, it was never gonna win. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. There Will Be Blood though was up there too. Wow, that was a stacked. Wow, Jesus.
Yeah. All I know, 2007. I was like, There Will
But then
Be
Daniel
Blood.
Day-Lewis. Yeah. So Clooney lost to Daniel Day-Lewis. Like, if you're gonna lose to anybody, you might as well lose to Daniel Day-Lewis.
And
like,
fucking No Country.
And Wilkinson lost to Javier Bardem.
Yeah, like if you're gonna, right?
As he should have.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Casey Affleck was, oh god, he's so problematic, but he's so fucking good. Okay, I'm looking at this best supporting Javier Bardem, Casey Affleck, Philip Seymour Hoffman. That is Jesus Christ. That is a who's who of
2007
actors.
was fucking insane.
God damn. Tom Wilkinson, Holbrook. That is wow. Didn't know Juno was up for Best Picture. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, just seeing it
Juno.
against. I know it's a great movie, but seeing it against like No Country and this and There Will Be Blood, like that's all right.
Yeah, no, I mean,
love Juno. And I love
it's a great
Blood.
movie, yeah.
And I like Clayton. I haven't seen Atonement. And you can take my cinephile card because I haven't seen No Country either.
It's okay,
fine.
I haven't either.
It's my second favorite movie of all time.
That's why my pick will be. That's what I'm kidding.
Let's watch it together. Yeah, Jesus, what a year. Laura Linney, oh, she's so good. I love her. I'm just looking at who was up this year for various stuff.
No, 2007 is a notorious year.
Yeah,
that's why I will admit, part of me going into this movie being like, I don't know, man, this was 2007. 2007 had.
This is kind of sad. Best animated feature, just 3 movies. That's kind of sad.
They're good movies, though.
Well, so it's Ratatouille, Persepolis, and Persepolis and Surf's Up. This looks interesting. Yeah, I've never heard Persepolis, but it looks interesting. The poster looks really cool.
I've not seen it, but it is considered like one of the best animated films of all time.
And then Surf's Up it's actually a really fun movie.
No, Surf's Up is secretly good because it's like kind of like it. Not only is it a mockumentary, which is like an interesting choice for a children's film. It's specifically inspired off of like old surfer exploitation films from like the 60s. Yeah. Which is like a really interesting creative choice. So no, Surf Up is secretly good. That's my patented hot take.
Is it Borno Tomatum won best sound editing and best sound mixing? This is really interesting.
Mhm.
I'm just having a
Yeah,
good
and
time.
Kate
looking
Blanchett
at
got
it.
a double nom. She got into actress also for a different movie, where she was like Queen Elizabeth, like for a second
Oh
time.
yeah, Elizabeth the Golden Age. Oh wow, look at that.
Yeah.
Good for her. Did she win anything for Tar? Right? Was that her?
No, she was
Uh,
nominated for Tar.
yeah, she didn't win anything, right?
No, she lost to Michelle Yeoh.
Uh,
Oh well, yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
um,
Okay, well, Dan, Dan, do you think on a rewatch? Like, I feel like did you go into this movie thinking it was gonna be like I don't know, like expecting a scene like that, like that you wished existed, or like I don't know, like how did you think that changed that affected your opinion of it?
what do you mean?
Like, do you think like a rewatch now knowing, like, do you think that would help or?
No, I mean, I think, like I said, I think it's a good movie. I just think that there's some core things that I just thought were kind of a little just personal taste. I think so many of all of the individual scenes are fantastic. Just as a
Yeah.
story
No one got
overall.
stabbed or shot, so Dan doesn't like it.
No.
Dan's like the one murder wasn't exciting. That was a really cool scene. I'm not gonna
Don't
lie.
pin me
That-
as
that-
the degenerate I am, Remington. He
No,
knows too
that-
much about me.
That scene left me like, oh, okay, that was like methodical and like chilling. Like, did you guys?
Something about
Did you
it.
guys have that?
No,
Did you guys have
I was
that?
like very unnerved.
It was, dude, 'cause it was like so methodical and just like that, right? Like it's just kind of like the way it's done. It's like, oh, like these guys are fucking professionals, and it's that easy to
Well,
kill a
to be
person.
clear,
Okay.
Well, to be clear, the job of freelance hitman does not actually exist in the real world. That's not a real thing.
Well, yes, I know, but still.
Yeah, no, that was burned into my mind. Also, just a weird aside. I also thought it was really ballsy, for some reason, to just call the movie Michael Clayton, like the name of the main character that's not based on any IP. Like maybe it was George Clooney's star power that was mainly pushing the movie, and obviously after watching it, it is all encompassing around him and his perspective, like you mentioned, Remington. But I kept thinking to myself, that's a ballsy title, just calling it like that's calling to me. That's like calling the Mission Impossible movie like Ethan Hunt, the first one.
Okay,
you know? Is that a
I had
funny
a joke
thing?
about that. No, I had a joke. Okay, in 2007, look up the movie Codename The Cleaner. I had a joke that they couldn't use the name The Cleaner because that movie already came out.
Oh, really?
And I only know this movie because I remember watching it. And Remington, remember Mr. Finelli?
Yeah.
I remember during, I think it was the Boston trip, they had one of those like DVD players like in the bus that you can just like, it's like, it's like
Yes.
you're in the back of the bus, you're
Talking
screwed.
about.
They played that movie because we were all like middle schoolers. It's like a dumb, terrible movie, and it's called Codename The Cleaner. And I just had like a weird like flashback of watching this movie in like 8th grade.
We watched Star Wars.
in May or June of 8th grade, and I just thought like I looked it up and I was like, oh shit, this came out in 2007 as well. So I just thought of a really dumb joke of like, was this movie called Michael Clayton because they couldn't name it The Cleaner because of a terrible Cedric the Entertainer movie?
Yeah, it's true. When they named that movie Roman J. Israel Esquire, I thought, they're taking a chance. It was a ballsy move naming it.
What'd you guys? I mean, George Clooney in this movie was really good. I mean, something I was listening to. Another big part of I thought about recommending this movie after this, but not to plug someone else, but I listened to the Big Picture podcast on the Ringer, and they're currently doing a series this year called 25 for 25, where they're kind of just doing a list of all of their the 25 best movies in this century, and Michael Clayton was their first movie that they chose, and they did they're doing bi-monthly podcasts about it, each selection, and I listened to it, and I tried to I listened to it after I watched the movie for this, and I tried to just kind of think, oh, what do these guys think about it? And one of the things that they mentioned about George Clooney's performance in this is that, you know, he, at the time, it was almost kind of viewed as George Clooney was almost, in a way, playing against type in this movie, where someone mentioned that he doesn't even really seem to smile once in this movie. He's charismatic. He's charismatic, but he's not charming like he usually is. So I think he was so fantastic. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have any thoughts about just like his performance in this movie. But
yeah, I can see that. I mean, to me, it was more reminiscent of some of the movies that he would do like after this. Like, so I was reminded he has a supporting role in this film called Ides of March. I don't know if you've heard of that. That has like Ryan Gosling in it. It's a political drama from like 2011, I want to say. And basically, it's about this like presidential campaign. And Ryan Gosling plays kind of like a political operative who's kind of there to like put out like various fires that come along throughout the course of like a presidential campaign. And the movie is kind of like him slowly becoming. He goes from being like the candidate's like most loyal soldier to becoming like his like slowly disillusioned with it over time, and then having like this big dramatic break in the end. And the presidential candidate is played by George Clooney, and so for most of the movie, he kind of just, he's not the center of the movie. Like you just kind of like see him in the distance or in the corner as he's like leaving a room, and then he has like one big moment when like Ryan Gosling confronts him, where he gets like this like ice cold monologue to him, where he like really turns on the like Clooney flashes of like anger, like I'm the serious tough guy now. And like that is like very reminiscent to me of like what this performance was in Michael Clayton.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'm really happy you brought up in the beginning, because again, I'm just trying to think of when I think of George Clooney, I'm trying to think of what are the
for sure, very like suave, debonair kind of guy.
Yeah, and I was trying to think of what are his signature performances, or what is his signature, and I can't stress this enough. When I bring up what I think of George Clooney in, they're not small things. Like he's been a collaborator with the Coens in the 2010s of like 3 different movies. He was Danny Ocean in a franchise that was a huge franchise. He was Batman for the one movie. Like these are not small things. But then I'm just like, but what else? I forgot about Fantastic Mr. Fox, but of course that's animated, but still counts.
He's the director of like several acclaimed movies.
But then he came into like directing. Are they acclaimed?
And producing.
Are they acclaimed?
Some of them are.
What? Wait,
Not
what
all
has
of
he
them.
directed that are acclaimed?
Good Night and Good Luck.
Okay, I have to see that, because I always thought he was like, because I remember he did. Didn't he direct that movie Leatherheads?
He might have.
Okay, I think he did, and I think I saw that in theaters when it came out, when I was like in high school or something, for some weird reason.
Yeah, no, like not
And
all of them
sucked.
are not all of them are super acclaimed, but some of them are.
Okay.
So like
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I always thought his
and,
directing career was kind of like a failure for the most part, but maybe
no,
not.
I mean he
Okay.
keeps making movies. Like his last one was like 2 years. I didn't like Boy in the Boat, but he did do one like recently. Like it's not like he stopped. But what was it? Oh yeah, and as a producer too. Like he had like his sole. Well, not. I think he has one other win, but like his one of 2 wins he has is because he was a producer on Argo, so he shares in that Best Picture win.
Oh, I didn't know he was a big producer. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So that makes more. Okay, so this is helpful. This is
and he got to start in TV in the '90s. So like his big break was when he was on ER.
Yeah, he was in
Yeah.
ER. He was also apparently also on Roseanne.
Oh
Yeah, I think I remember. My parents love Roseanne, so I think I remember that.
Yeah, I guess he was like a supporting character on Roseanne.
Yeah, I think he had like an arc or something like so.
Which is like he's been around for a long time.
So after I guess my whole I don't know, maybe I was just kind of on some conspiratorial shit, because again I love George Clooney, I love him so much, but I was like, just thinking to myself, with the release of Wolves, and there was like so much press around that movie for Apple of these op-eds of and these vanity project of George Clooney and Brad Pitt, this duo coming back together, like for this reunion in their great careers as movie stars. And I always just kept thinking to myself, because I'm such a Brad Pitt stan, I kept thinking to myself, well, I love Clooney. I love you, Clooney. But your filmography does not match Pitt of what he's done like since the 90s. That was always kind of my thing, where I felt like when you look at other duos of like, I always just compare them to like the little bit of an older version of Affleck and Damon. I always thought like, well, like they're a little bit more equal, but I don't know. But yeah, so no, I get it. Does after watching this, do you guys understand, or do you guys like get why Michael Clayton is considered one of Clooney's like more signature roles?
Yeah, I mean, he literally got an Oscar nom for it, so of
No, I'm
course
just
it's
saying
always going.
personally. I guess that's
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. But yes, no, I think he's good in the movie. Is it my favorite performance for him? I'd have to dwell on that. I really like, even though it's just a voice performance and he's not like a voice actor, I really love his performance in Fantastic Mr. Fox. I think he's really good in that movie. And I'm not like a big Oceans person, but I thought he was good in Oceans 11. Yeah, I guess I can see why this would people would like
Consider
think back to this one.
Yeah.
I can for sure see that. Oh, I just realized, not to derail us, but his directorial debut, George Clooney, was Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, which was written by Charlie Kaufman. So
look at that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be fucked. No,
Dan's gonna watch it tonight.
Yeah. No,
yeah,
it's funny.
I saw it. It's not my favorite one of Kaufman's that he wrote, but it's interesting. It's an interesting movie. I'll put it that way.
And I know what a fan of now. Gene and I here. I mean, more Gene, but like we love our Oceans movies. We love the Oceans movies.
Yeah, they're very good.
Gene's a big Ocean stan.
I'm not huge on 12, but I think 11's like a pretty goddamn fucking like just almost a masterpiece. It just hooks me.
Did I see? I didn't see the. What was? Wait, there's Oceans. What's the first one? 11.
Oceans 11.
Yeah.
12. I love 12.
13.
13. I didn't see 13 yet. I haven't seen 13 yet.
Have you seen 8, which is
the women's
which
one?
is like the knockoff? Yeah, the knockoff.
No, because Dan doesn't like women.
I don't like women.
Dan hates women.
Yeah, notably.
No, I don't like.
Famously, Dan doesn't like women.
I don't like Sandra Bullock, and that's why I don't like Gravity.
Is this? I can't tell if you're joking or not. Are you serious right now?
No, I genuinely don't like. I think the main reason.
Also, isn't Clooney in Gravity as well?
Yes.
I like Gravity.
Dan, do you not like Gravity?
I don't like Gravity. I don't.
Oh, this fucking guy.
I think it's overrated.
This fuck. All right, I'm gonna.
And I don't like Ocean's 8 because of Sandra Bullock. I don't like Sandra Bullock.
Dan really does not like Sandra Bullock.
I don't.
Holy shit!
I think she's famous
really
for
funny.
no reason. I think she's famous for
his.
I think she's
his Sandra Bullock. His Sandra Bullock hater stocks went up when everyone decided that The Blind Side was bad for correct reasons. That we decided this, but still.
That's fair.
By the way, when did that come out? When did The Blind Side come out?
2009.
I was gonna say it's like a mid to late 2000s. Yeah.
I think part of me, because I was like I'm not like a sports fan, and when that movie came out before I was into movies, I think I did have my woke hat on. When that movie came out internally, and I was like, fuck this woman. She's just cashing in on like, well, look at how great I am. I'm a white woman that's letting this bullet. And you know what? I will use this. I will use this card. Maybe because I had foster kids. I lived with foster kids, motherfucker.
Well, I was gonna say I don't think you had them.
woke.
I think your parents had them, but sure.
I will. Don't derail me, you bastard.
Dad's like, I've been woke before woke was a thing. All right, I
Yeah.
have foster siblings.
Yeah,
Dad's
I'm
like,
gonna
I
use
grew
that
up
card.
with. Dad's like, and not a single one of them was white. So
No, I'm sorry. I just don't like Sandra Bullock. I really don't. I just think she's like in that movie in Ocean's 8. In Ocean's 8, Sandra Bullock was supposed to be like this hard ass that like no one fucked with her, and like she was, and I'm like, I don't buy it for a fucking second. I didn't buy Sandra. I didn't buy. That was my whole thing with Ocean's 8. I remember that. I'm like, I don't buy you for a fucking second, Sandra Bullock, as like this tough one that no one fuck with. Why do people like you? Anyway,
I really like Gravity, Dan. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
No,
No,
Gravity's good.
special
Dan is
effects.
bad. Gravity.
Dan bad.
Dan bad. Good.
What about the Tony Gilroy of it all? Any thoughts on? I don't even know what else is he did the Bourne movies. This was his big directing.
I mean,
writing.
it's a tight written movie. There's many layers to it. Like, okay, like this movie, like the
Dialogue's
start,
great.
right? It just throws you into it at the start, right? And for the first bit of the movie, you're like, what the fuck is going on? And then it pieces it all together, right? And watching it, I'm like, okay, yeah, this seems like Tony Gilroy's dense in his writing. You have to pay attention, which is fine. I thought it was, and like again, like Remington said, the pacing is just very well done. Like, it's impressive how well done it is.
Yeah, like I said in the beginning, like I didn't think the ending was going to work when I saw how much runtime we had left once we were done with like all the flashbacks. Like I was like, how are they going to wrap this up in 17 minutes? Are they just going to be like, and well, that's how it is, and then like cut the black, and it's like, no, I actually like the way it wrapped up, and that like you keep coming back to it, and you're right to. It's a really good scene when he reveals that he's still alive and has that final confrontation with Tilda Swinton. I thought that was probably one of the best bits in the movie, and in fact, that like bit of dialogue he has where he's like, I'm the bag man. I'm not the guy you kill. I'm the guy you buy off. I sold Arthur out for 80 grand in 3-year contract. You know, like it's like it. I thought that was so good. And yeah,
that was very good. That was actually like a very like that line. That line, I was like, oh, okay. Like let him cook.
Let him cook.
He is
I am Shiva, god of death.
Okay, that I need to talk about that final scene because it's so funny. It got me so fucking good, and I thought I was such a sucker, and I thought to myself, God damn it, I've been watching movies for how long? How did I let this get me? When I was watching it, I thought he was gonna take the money, and I didn't even think for a second, oh god damn it, he has a fucking tape recorder, and he did the most. In a hindsight, it was maybe this in 2007. This wasn't a huge trope, but he did the thing where the villain like admits what they're doing, their diabolical plan.
No, it was a trope.
It's a it's a
It was enough of a trope that 2 years earlier in The Incredibles, Syndrome could be like, "You sly dog, you almost got me monologuing." Like,
and they just admit their whole plan. And something about the way that scene, I was like, "Fuck, it got me." And when it goes, and he goes, "Oh, 10 or whatever it was, like 10 million or something insane like that." And she goes, yes, as she's about to go. So I got to give it to, like, the directing and the writing of Tony Gilroy was so perfect in that scene. It was so perfect.
You know what else has very good Tony Gilroy writing and directing, Daniel?
Andor.
The Bourne Identity. Oh, yeah, Andor, yeah.
But no, and then when he goes, okay, we got it. I was like, fuck me. I was like, that got me. It was good. And then I love the no music. He just walks away and you see the cops pull in. And I was like,
you see her collapse. Yeah.
That movie, that scene worked
Dan's
on
like,
me. that scene worked. I knew it. That scene worked on me the exact way Tony Gilroy intended, because I was like, oh, I was like, oh, and the way he walked, and no, again, I can't stress enough, no music, just he walks out. And you see the cops come in, and I was like, oh, that's so good. Oh, no, he got him.
I love the credits. I love the
him
credits.
in the cab, yeah.
It's just him in the cab, yeah. I was like, and I'm watching, I was like, oh, okay. He's just in the cab. Sweet. I'm just sucker for that kind of stuff.
But him kind of pondering, like, you don't know if his life is going to be like, did he
is he going to stay as a fixer?
Is he going to be okay?
You don't know. Yeah, you don't know.
Because I was set up. I will give that so much of a compliment to the screenplay of where I don't know if his life is going to be any better after this. I don't know if he way to
find out.
That's
someone hit up Gilroy.
Yeah,
Mike. If we can get Heat 2 all these years later, we can get Michael Clayton 2. Let's do it.
He still got that $5,000. You don't know what he did with that $5,000. Maybe he came up with a better investment.
Hold on one second.
Then cards, yeah, right. Maybe he hit a crazy hand in poker.
Yeah.
So Remy, are we excited for Marty Supreme? Is that going to be good? Is that good? Because people, every so often a Chalamet movie comes out and people were like, "Oh, we love Chalamet," and
Jane, you would know what my thoughts on Marty Supreme are if you had listened to Dan's most recent episode of his podcast.
Wait, it came out already? I thought it was out. Yeah. I know the movie was out already. I don't fucking know. I don't pay attention.
Oh no, Marty Supreme isn't out. I'm saying that you would know what my thoughts leading up to it are.
When does it come out?
Like Christmas.
Dan, you guys have like a 2 hour. I don't have time for 2 hours. All right, are your timestamps?
Dan helpfully cut it up on YouTube into discrete segments.
Okay, I will do that. I will watch the segment because I'm like, are we excited for it? I know we have a terrible person, and who's in it again? Who's like
Kevin O'Leary?
Yeah, pure. Oh, the Shark Tank guy, the Shark Tank douchebag. Oh, he's awful. Yeah, why is he in this?
I don't know. So all the people who have seen this thing, and not many critics have yet, actually. All the people who have seen this thing say it's good. That it's like not just good, like it's really good. So in that sense, I guess I'm really open to seeing it. I plan on seeing it. I figured you were gonna see it. The casting and prominent place that Kevin O'Leary has in it really puts a bad taste in my mouth. I guess I'll see how it works in the actual movie. The Safdie brothers are known for unconventional casting, and that's what people say that this is supposed to be.
So they chose a super Trumpy billionaire. Jesus fucking!
I know. Did you know he tried to be Prime Minister of Canada? Fun fact.
Why? Is he Canadian?
He's Canadian, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Because
when did he run? What was this?
I forget. He ran for leadership of some party. Because they have a parliament.
Yeah. When? How long ago was this?
It was a couple years ago. It was fairly recent. Let me pull it up for you.
Wow, look at that. Is he Trudeau's no good? I'm gonna give it a crack.
2017. He ran to be leader of the Conservative Party. Yeah.
Of course he did. What a fucking shill.
Yeah.
Hey, has anyone else's Twitter algorithm been super xenophobic, more than usual? Because it's been bad this week. I'm just
I wasn't noticing anything worse than usual.
Oh, it's been bad for me. It got really bad, especially English people who get mad at immigrants, and I'm like, my brother in Anglo-Saxon Christ, you colonized half the planet. Why do you think? We pillaged and destroyed countries for centuries, and now they have to leave their countries to come here. The only culture they know because of colonialism. Don't even get me started.
Is Twitter bad, or do you just keep seeing these things and angrily stare at them for a bit, and then the algorithm knows, oh, this gets engagement, so we're going to keep showing it to him?
It's both. So I always have to tell myself, don't get off Twitter. Go do something else. I have to remind myself to go and enjoy life and not just tell people you're a fucking loser, go touch grass on the internet.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for people not that I can't wait for this. If somehow millions of people are deported, Who's going to scapegoat next when people still can't afford a house? Like I don't next is I guess it's the black people, which is why we can't afford houses, not because I'm broke and a loser. I don't know.
I'm still waiting for Gene and I to do the skit of him and I both sign up for ICE and get the 60 grand sign-on bonus, and we like drive around in a tank. And like
we just like
in body armor, and we're drinking Modelo's, like the one we do one battle after another.
Remington, wait, does he know about this? Because this is like an in-person thing you and I talked about. Remington, do you know about this?
No.
So Dan wants us to sign up for ICE to get the $60,000 bonuses, and then we're just like not even going to do our jobs. We're just going to show up and be like, "Hey, you get out of here," and then just like get back into our.
We just waste
tanks.
Government money. And
we're just gonna be like terrible at the job the whole time and drink Modelo's like Del Toro and DiCaprio and one battle. It's this whole thing Dan wants to do.
Mm.
And
I think Dan wants to do it because he I don't know. Dan wants to sabotage the government and also make $60,000 in sign-on bonus. I don't know.
Dan doing sabotage? I perish the thought.
Hey, Remington, just how you got to do it. We got to do it with on the inside. We're gonna scam.
It's like Ron Swanson working in local government to, make it as slow and bad as possible. I don't know.
Yeah, and he was dumb for that.
I'm gonna
not dumb. He got a pension.
I'm gonna sign up for ICE.
Pension's pretty great, dude.
And I'm gonna import more illegal immigrants with my ICE
That's
tank.
right. Yeah,
I'm gonna
go. Gene and drive over like the fence and be like, "Come in."
A tank. We're gonna be like, I can get through. I'm ICE, and then I'm gonna like, we're gonna go to like what is it, MS-13, and it's like you and
border,
we're gonna
just
hand
shows
them.
tag.
I'm gonna be hammered like driving a tank and like hand them a bunch of Modelo's. What's up, guys? It's America. Nothing matters anymore. We're gonna drive them in, and I'm gonna give them ballots to vote. Oh, well, this might get taken down.
Oh my God, Dan's just gonna. You know what? I agree with Remington now. This is a terrible idea.
No, it'll be great. It'll be fun. Anyway, sorry. I just sucked Remington's soul out of him.
Dan's gonna watch Christy Noam shoot a dog.
You should be on my side now when I say shit like this.
Christy Noam shoot a dog and be like, "Yep," hand her a beer. I don't know.
She shot a dog. Sorry, I will get taken off the internet for the things I will say.
That was the whole South Park episode.
You didn't know she killed the dog?
No, I know.
Why do you think she kept shooting dogs in that South Park?
I know everything about that, and that's why what I want to say about her will get me taking off of YouTube. I can't say what I want to say. Anyway,
I think we need to say final thoughts because we've diverged and we're probably done talking about the movie. Now, I wonder what Remington is going to have us watch. I hope it's something that Dan hates.
But anyway.
So, do your final thoughts.
Yeah, final thoughts.
I'll go last. So, Dan or Gene, do your piece.
Remington has a movie at like 10 o'clock, so we gotta hurry up.
No.
What time is your show?
Actually, it's at 11, so it's actually helped that we started early.
This movie?
It's only like 2 hours.
Oh my God! Did you have work tomorrow? All right, whatever.
I work from home. The theater's in walking distance.
All right, whatever.
Yeah, It's a fun life.
And I picked 11 because I didn't know when we were going to be done. So
that's fair.
It's good.
Maybe there's a 10 o'clock show and you can still make it. Let's hurry up.
I'm glad.
I already got the ticket.
I'm glad we covered this. I was very happy that we that I finally watched the other George Clooney acclaimed movie and got a little bit more into what Tony Gilroy made him big as a writer and not so much as a director, but mainly a writer. While I do have my issues with how the basics of the screenplay come together, I think there's so much good in this movie and so much I understand, and even talking with you guys more, I understand a little bit more of so much more of the appeal is of why it all works. But yeah, so I thought it was solid. Well, I don't want to say solid. I thought it was very good. Performance is great, dialogue great, scenes great. Really appreciate it. Just there were some core things within the screenplay that just really were rubbing up against me. So as a score, I would say like a 6 or 7. Just kidding. It would be a 7.
They rubbed you negatively, not rubbed you positively.
What about 7? So I'm positive. I'm very positive. Very positive. So Gene, what about you?
I liked it. It worked for me. I was pretty. I was pretty locked in. Honestly, it's this kind of movie where I'm like, what's gonna happen in this movie? And I went into it blind, so that really just like I think that really just worked for me. Not knowing anything about it. Truly, I think I just read today he's like a fixer, right? So I truly had no clue what the movie's about. I just knew like, oh, he's Michael Clayton. Cool, let's watch this. And I'm very happy with the product. Great writing, great pace, great everything. I know I was pretty engrossed, honestly. Like I just like I think like after when the car blows up, I was like, all right, I'm in. It's what's going on. You've sold me. Big boom explosion fire. I'm a simple man. Michael Bay explosions. And I'm glad we watched it. So Dan, fuck you. I will give it a 4 out of 5.
I like it. Sorry. Before Remington goes and gives his pitch, one quick thing I forgot to mention. This was a famous example. I just have to, bring this up. Famous example of a what if scenario in the making of this movie. I don't know if you guys heard this when talking about this movie or watching it, but famously, this movie was originally, the role of Michael Clayton was originally meant to be Denzel Washington. Did you know that?
Yes, I saw
like,
that.
was he cast or is that who Gilroy wanted?
No, he was offered the part and he refused it.
Oh, interesting. Do you know why he refused it?
Yes, because this is a very, very famous what if, because I remember even hearing about this before I knew what the movie was, but Denzel turned down this role because he said he didn't want to work with a first-time director in Tony Gilroy. And it's so funny. I've heard that story before, but I didn't know he was talking about Michael Clayton. But I could so see Denzel playing this role. It's such a Denzel type role. I'm happy we got Clooney in it. I could easily see Denzel doing this type of movie and this type of role.
The type of thing Denzel would like knock out of the park. Absolutely.
You know what? No, I'll say it. You know what? I'm glad it was Clooney. And you know what? Better actor.
Agree.
No, I'm kidding.
Fuck you. But okay. Let's not go that far. But I do agree. I do agree.
Okay.
I am glad that it was
good. Yeah.
I am glad that it was Clooney in the end because this is a very this was kind of like I could see
it worked for both of them. Yeah, but that's interesting. Yeah, like there's an alternate universe where like Denzel does this, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and also last other thing, Gene, are you gonna watch Jay Kelly when it comes out on Netflix in a week or two?
Sure. What's it about? Is it so? Wait, does he play Jay Kelly? Does he just play like? I don't know. I don't keep up. Remington.
Just watch it. Adam Sandler's.
No, I'm saying like, is this another thing where like Clooney's playing the character the movie is named after?
Yes. And it's supposed to be a reflection on. It's meant to be like George Clooney playing himself, and it's a reflection on
last time. Yeah.
It's a reflection on his career.
Wait, what the fuck Sandler to do with this movie? Who's Sandler play?
He plays his best friend.
Agent.
He plays Brad Pitt. No, I'm kidding. Okay.
Who plays his agent?
Who plays Michael Damon? Matt Damon. Michael Damon. Who plays Matt Damon?
Greta Gerwig.
No one.
All right, on to the.
All right,
cool. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll watch it. Sure, Dan, we'll watch it at your place. I don't know.
I'm just saying that was part of the motivation of seeing it.
Wait. Remington, did you talk about this on the podcast with Dan?
No.
Cool.
It was mentioned, but I haven't seen. I hadn't seen it at that time. Now I have. You can infer. I want you to see it.
Yeah,
I like your opinion.
I mean, you can infer from my letterbox for how I felt about it, but
I think that's fair enough.
I'm sorry. Not to Remington. Go ahead. Closing thoughts,
go ahead.
and give us your pitch. I'm excited.
So I really liked this movie. I thought it was a really sharp screenplay. I thought it was really well edited, and I really liked Tom Wilkinson's performance. All the performances, but has really stood out for me. And it was fun to see, like, kind of go back to like one of Tony Gilroy's early successes, given how much I liked Andor. So this is a good pick for me, and I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 in Letterboxd. So that's a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
Very nice.
Yeah, and not even because, like, again, like I wouldn't say that this is like an all timer for me, but like I just thought it was just so
It just
clearly
worked for
well
you.
done. Yeah,
Yeah,
it just worked, and it was just so clearly well done that it's like, yeah, 9 out of 10.
Oh, I'm so
Sometimes it's like,
glad.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes it's like even it's like that like the greatest movie ever. Like what did you like? You mentioned a few movies earlier, like they just work for you.
yeah, they just work. So yeah, turning now to what we've all been waiting for. As you know, this will be the December pick. This will be the last of 2025 that we'll be doing. And so this movie that I have prepared for us will be the last in the series that I have been doing this year, where I've been trying to think about ways that we could explore genre. Not just do standard dramas and such. So like I started with El Topo, right? That was a Western, a bit of an unconventional Western, but a Western nonetheless. And then after that, we had done the Donner Cut. That was an opportunity to talk about the superhero genre and what our relationship to that was, and also talk about director's cuts and that form of like film consumption, media consumption. And then our last movie we had done, the last one that I had picked was I Walk with a Zombie, the zombie genre, a classic staple of the horror genre. That was one that we had done. And so for this next pick, I was kind of thinking about like, one, what is the next like classic genre that we could potentially push this, and then two, what could we do to signal like things I would like to see happen with this the show of ours in 2026. And so I think what I want to start doing with these next subsequent picks, now that I've done thinking about genre, well, we're always going to be thinking about genre, but at least like intentionally like this, is I want to like see how we can like show different movies that like push like form, so not just like standard studio films, maybe something a little more off the beaten path, so to speak. And so as a result, I picked something a little interesting, I guess. I don't know if you guys have seen a movie like this quite before, but yeah, we will be for this next film. We will be going back in time. We will be going back in time, and we will be visiting what was once a proud and noble staple of the blockbuster, of the proto blockbuster, the early blockbuster, the really like audiences like popular audiences like crave for, very common to see in cinemas, the pirate genre,
Ooh.
swashbuckling. And we will be auditing that genre as our last genre in the series, a once very popular genre that is now, with the exception of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies 20 years ago, it's now not really a thing anymore. Kind of dated by all standards. It has not had a similar like revival in like a revisionist form, or a like a revisionist form like the Western has. It's for the most part, with the rare exception of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, it's pretty dead. And so we will be visiting that genre, but we will not be doing Pirates of the Caribbean movies. No, we will be doing something much older and something much more. We're going back in time, gentlemen, to before there was, when cinema was young, when film was young, when film could be anything. We didn't know what it could be. We didn't know where it was going before. Before the days of classic Hollywood, before the rise of those pictures. We're going back before sound, gentlemen.
Ooh.
We're going to be watching Douglas Fairbanks in the 1926 film The Black Pirate.
I've never heard of this.
Love it.
Nor had I before I did my research. Have you heard of Douglas Fairbanks?
No,
Nope.
probably not.
Big old school movie star. Him and
Okay.
his son, Douglas Fairbanks, and he's known for doing kind of like swashbuckler characters. But he was known for that's like what he was known for back in those days, when
Well, I see his.
concept
He
of
was
movie star was.
he was the first to play Zorro. That's cool.
Yep, he was.
Wow.
And this is one of his other big movies from that time. But yeah, I want to wrap it with the pirate genre. We can talk a bit about like what that means to us. And I wanted to use a silent film because we hadn't done silent film yet, as a way to try to like chart forward like some of the boundary pushing that I want to do with my picks for the coming year.
Okay.
So that's what I got for you boys.
I truly thought you were gonna pick Treasure Island. The is it the 1950s one? The one that basically created like the modern idea of like the R and like the way what we think of as a pirate, right? That movie kind of like created it. But you didn't. Okay, cool. But this is interesting because I'd love to see what what a pirate was like before that movie kind of created what we think of a pirate now in the modern day consciousness, right? In the
It's a tight 90, so you cannot get mad at me.
Where is this public domain? Like, where can we watch it?
It's on Tubi.
Oh, okay, cool.
Sponsor the show, Tubi. We love Tubi.
Very interesting. Good job. Okay.
Yes. We could also talk about our relationship to silent film.
No, I love it. Yeah, that's great. No, I really appreciate that you're picking like older things that I wouldn't otherwise pick. No, I really appreciate like going back because I love watching these movies where I know, okay, I'm at least gonna talk about this with my friends, like you know what I mean, and have a conversation about it. Like I look forward to watching the picks that we have on the show, because I know we're going to be able to talk about it, and I know you guys are going to be watching it too, so that's always like a great motivator. So no, I'm excited. Okay, cool. I love it.
Hey,
could be good.
Hey,
all right, well, that was Eyes Wide Watch Club, everyone. Patreon.com/Dan Ivy, folks. I guess you can find me.
My pick is gonna be so different from this. All right, anyway, continue.
Unhinged. We're on RSS feeds at the Dan Ivy No Signal podcast feed. Find us on YouTube, youtube.com/Dan Ivy. And you can find me on Letterboxd at Dan Ivy 99 and all the stupid socials. I hate myself. Gene, where can the people find you?
In a ditch somewhere, probably. I'm not even gonna plug. I'm not gonna plug Twitter. Fuck Twitter. It's been bad lately. What's my letterbox, guys? Is it my usual? I gotta pull my Someone pull out letterbox. Huh?
I don't know. What's your letterbox?
I'm J3AN865 on Letterboxd. Find me there. I forget to use it. The last movie I rated on there was One Bad After Another. I've seen like 2 movies since then, probably. I don't remember. I don't know. I don't watch things. Go find me there.
The people want to hear. All right, Remington, where can the people find you?
I am at Angrier Every Day on Twitter, because aren't we all? And I am also at Barsmore on Letterboxd. You can see me talk about politics and movies in those respective places, and as we watch our country further slide into the fascist dystopia that it is, and we all require a bit of escapism along the way. That is me.
All right. Thank you for leaving us on a high note. Well, folks, I will play us out. Thank you for listening. We will see you in December, and everyone stay safe out there. And remember, in Dragon Ball Z, Piccolo was the black guy.